Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to Tanks Blitz. Going to be doing a garage review of this thing, my first ever Tier 9 tank. The VK 4502B, Tier 9 German heavy tank. Leads on to the mouse. As you can see, the mouse fund is coming along. I've got I'm just missing about 200,000 XP, but that's beside the point. The mouse fund is coming along. But yeah, so we're here going to do a review of this thing, VK4502B. So, how is this Tier 9 German heavy tank? Well, stock, it was alright, is what I can say. Because this is the top engine for the VK4502A. The Porsche Deutz Type 180/2. And then, of course, you've got the 2x Porsche Type 100/1, Type 100/3, and the Type 180/2. And, well, the Top Gun is the Type 100/3, which is, of course, the medium engine of this thing, and it's also the medium engine on this thing. So long as, well, the only way you can get to it is from the Tiger P. So long as you upgrade the top engine on the Tiger P, you will never have to drive this thing with the stock engine. And even if you don't upgrade it from the Tiger P, you can always unlock the /2, which is the top engine on this, on the Tier 8. So you should never have to drive it with a stock engine. I completely skipped this tank, as you may have noticed, so I never researched that top engine, but I was still using the medium engine. As for the tracks, we'll get to those tracks actually, but there's the stock turret, the VK4502P Alpha B, which is a Porsche term. So it's got the shot trap looking turret, it's the stock turret, as you can see there. And well, it's an alright turret. It has 220 frontal turret, and the frontal turret's alright, but as much sloping as it has, it's still only 220 millimeters thick. It's not really thick enough for what you need. So I was playing it with the stock turret and this gun, which is the 105 KWK-L68, which is a decent gun. The grind on it wasn't too bad. I just really wanted the top gun. So I just spent gold and completely upgraded it, but that's beside the point. So it's fully upgraded now, and I do love it fully upgraded. Stock with this gun, it's alright. The 105 is a decent enough gun to grind through. And funnily enough, with the stock suspension, you actually get 85-ton load limit. In fact, it doesn't move when you upgrade it. When you upgrade it, you only get a better traverse speed. That's the only difference, which means that you can fully upgrade this thing, mount modules, everything, all on the stock suspension. This is the last thing you need to research, really, because you can mount the top gun, top turret, top engine, all on the stock tracks, because the load limit doesn't change. So that's cool. But the top gun is a 128, obviously, and this is what it looks like. As you can see, I've gone with the special camo, the mint candy. There's the looks different, which I've got on as winter, and then I've of course got the Inferno on as the desert one, because, well, look at this thing with Inferno. Look at it. Oh, German engineering. So yeah, that's a nice green camo, and I think it looks alright on this. I think it looks decent. But let's take a look at the characteristics. 73% protection, 66% firepower, 92% shot effectiveness, 27% manoeuvrability. So, taking a look here, 1820 HP with the top turret, which is a good amount of HP. It's a very nice amount of HP for a Tier 9. Let's have a look. Tier 9, let's look at the E75 with the upgraded turret of B. It gets 1800. Okay, let's take a look at America. What does America get? America gets the M103. So the M103 with the upgraded turret, the T140, that has got 1700 HP. One last example for the French, 5120, only gets that turret, and that's 1750. So it gets probably one of the highest amounts of HP for a Tier 9 heavy tank in the game. So it's got a great durability with that HP. As for the hull, 200 frontal hull, 100 side, 100 rear. With the upgraded turret, 252, sorry, frontal turret, 160 sides and rear. So from the front, it's a very strong tank. Angling the front of the hull, like so, having a building here means that they can only shoot at this, and this is sloped, that'll ricochet. Plus 252 frontal turret, slightly sloped as well, about 260, 270 frontal turret armor. That's very strong frontal turret armor. That's amazing. That's amazing turret armor. So, yeah, it's a pretty strong tank from the side. Side scraping, so long as you angle it only about that much, you'll ricochet shots off of the side like that. And of course the side of the turret as well, that's sloped. But yeah, you don't really want to be showing it like that, because otherwise that 100mm gets less and less the more you unangle it, as it were. And just look at those textures on the side of that hull. Oh, look at that. You can almost imagine those were real chains, couldn't you? But anyway, so yeah, that's beside the point. The point is that it's got decent enough protection. As for manoeuvrability, it weighs 79.87 tons with this loadout, which is improved vents, gun rammer, and enhanced gun main drive. So yeah, it weighs almost 80 tons with an 85-ton load limit, so you still got a lot to play around with there. But it only gets an 840 horsepower engine, which means that it only goes at 30 kilometers per hour top speed. The turret traverse is only 17.07 degrees, so that's a very slow turning turret. As for the hull traverse speed, 27.37 degrees per second, which isn't that bad actually. I've seen heavy tanks with worse hull traverse speed, so the hull traverse speed is surprisingly good. 30 kilometers per hour top speed, yeah, it's not the quickest thing. So yeah, it's not the quickest thing to drive forwards. Also, something to note is that gun depression is terrible. As you can see, it's a rear-mounted turret, which means gun depression, yeah, there isn't really any. So, yeah, no such gun depression right there. Because, of course, the hull is blocking it. Over the side, you do have better gun depression, but then that does mean that you're going broadside on, battleship style, and you don't really want to be doing that. The frontal hull is decent enough, so you don't really want to be going side on with only 100mm. So gun depression, not that great. As for the top engine, there it is, type 180/2, 840 horsepower, 15% chance of fire and impact, 720 kilograms weight. So yeah, if you were using the stock engine, you'd only have 600 horsepower, and the traverse limit would be very slow. But yeah, so there's that. As for the turret VK 4502P auf B Schwerturm, which is of course the upgraded turret, 255 meters view range. Yeah, it's alright, decent enough. Now we come to the gun. So of course that's the gun on the Tiger II, which is the gun that you will be using on this tank, which has got an 8.11 rate of fire, which is decent enough. Reload it in about 8.6 seconds, so that's not too bad. It has pretty good penetration for the gun, 225 average penetration, which isn't that bad actually. That's pretty good penetration, and the APCR penetration 285, yeah, that's pretty good. You'll probably want to carry around a couple of them. 60 high explosive, yeah, it's high explosive. 310 average damage for the 105, yeah, that's pretty good average damage. 310 with APCR, 420 with high explosive. It's very good accuracy, 0.31. The aim time isn't that bad either, 4.0 seconds, so that's a pretty solid gun. But this is the gun that you will be mounting, which is the 128 Kampfwagen Cannon 44 L55. 4.9 rate of fire rounds per minute, which, about an 11-second reload. 246 average penetration with AP, which, not that bad, but again, not that much of an upgrade over the 105, so I mean, but it's alright penetration. You can't get through your own frontal turret, but oh well. Then again, it does have 311 penetration with APCR, so that's pretty good. 65 with high explosive, 460 damage with AP and APCR, that's very good damage. 600 with high explosive, 0.35 dispersion, yeah, it's alright, it's not the worst, it's actually pretty good accuracy right there. Aim time 5.2 seconds, yeah, got a pretty slow aim time, hence why I've got a gun lane drive on it. And yeah, that's the gun, it's a pretty good gun, quite frankly. As you can see, the firepower and the shot effect just goes up slightly with the 105, but you will want to be using this 128. So, yeah, it's a decent enough tank. As for the equipment, of course, gun rammer, improved vents, enhanced gun lane drive. You could mount vertical stabilizers, but I would suggest any of these would be much more beneficial to the tank. Tanks for CO2 for 50% fuel tank durability, and wet ammo rack 50% ammo durability in case you keep getting set on fire or ammo racked. Enhanced suspension, well, enhanced longitudinal torsion bar, sorry for the odd Tiger P track layout. But yeah, either way, suspension durability, if you don't want to get detract constantly, then I suppose there's that. Camo net, binos, no, I would say don't bother with that. You're a heavy tank, you're supposed to be up at the front, fighting. Excuse me. So yeah, don't really want any of those. At least I don't think so. If you really want to increase your really want to improve your view range, then go with coated optics. Spore liner, yeah, maybe not. Protection from ramming and explosions. Who really uses high explosive at this tier? I would say no. Don't bother with the spore liner. And then a toolbox is always something useful, but I would suggest rammer, improved vents, coated optics. That's what I would suggest. As for the ammunition loadout, it carries 36 rounds, which is a decent enough loadout. So yeah, it's got good ammo capacity. I've loaded up 6 APCR rounds if I need them. I haven't needed them yet, but just in case I did need them, then they're always there if I need them. So yeah, a couple of that. So yeah, good enough ammo loadout that you can actually carry around a couple of other ammo choices. So at least there's that. As for the provisions, you've got standard fuel and improved fuel for +3 or 10% respectively to engine power turret reverse, automatically activated. Then you've got a chocolate bar and some chocolate for +3 or 10% respectively to crew mastery. Once again, activated automatically. Then you've got protective kit, 15% of protection of crew from injuries, 10% speed and module repair, 20% fire protection, 10% ammo and fuel tank durability. Activated automatically, permanent throughout a battle. So, yeah. You can mount some of those if you want. I don't bother because I lose enough cash. I lose enough cash already running this tank if I get a bad game. So yeah, don't want to carry around any of those. But if you want to, then they're there. As for the consumables, you've got the repair kit, first aid kit, fire extinguisher, which is what I've gone with. And then you've got engine power boost, 20% engine power, 15 seconds, 75-second cooldown. Adrenaline, 20% load speed, 10% chance of damaging enemy vehicle modules, so 15 seconds, 75-second cooldown. Then you've got the multi-purpose restoration pack, which is these 3 rolled into one. Now, you can go with a multi-purpose and one of those and one of those, which may not be a bad idea, especially the power boost and the adrenaline on this gun and this tank. But the reason that I go with all 3 of these, and if you've watched any of my other Blitz reviews, you will know that any of my other Blitz reviews that aren't auto-loading tanks, then you'll know what I'm about to say. But the reason that I carry around these 3 rather than these 3 is because, say you get detract out in the open and you need to get out of there, so you burn your multi-purpose restoration pack. So that's now got a 90-second cooldown. You've got adrenaline and engine power boost left, so say you use that as well. So you power boost off, you've used that to repair your track, and then 10 seconds later you get hit and you get set on fire. What do? You can't use the multi-purpose restoration pack because it's cooling down. So you're going to keep burning, which is why I prefer to have a repair kit, a first aid kit, and a fire extinguisher so I can repair my track, and then if I get set on fire, it'll automatically be put out with the fire extinguisher. So yeah, that's why I go with all 3 of them. And then, so that's the consumables. As for the camo, of course, I've got mint candy here, but then you've got, of course, your random common things on there. You got your random common German camos on there, and then you've got your common German camos on that. Then of course you got the Clan Warrior, and then yeah, so you got Clan Warrior, you got the Steam Breakthrough thing, you got the Shattered Ice, you got Undeniable Advantage, you got the Magma Inferno, you've got Full Forwards, looks different and Mint Candy. So yeah, those are your camos. And then as for the crew, I can't really say much about the crew because. So yeah, crew and Blitz works differently, as you can see, and that's it. So overall, it's a pretty strong heavy tank. Playing it can be a bit of a pain, especially stock, but once it's fully upgraded, it's a decent enough heavy tank. The grind to the mouse shouldn't be too bad. It's just trying to complete these missions. I've been having trouble trying to complete the supremacy thing for a good amount of intel. That's 200 intel. So I've been trying to do that, but it's just not been happening because, I don't know, game hates me trying to complete that mission. And I know what will happen if I skip it. If I skip it, the next game that comes along will be exactly what I need to complete that mission, and I will complete it, but I've chosen a different mission because I've skipped it. So, yeah. But anyway, so, yeah, that's the VK4502BL. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.